and welcome to Exhale into Life with Regina. When Regina speaks, everybody listens. Welcome to my show. This show is brought to you uh, by Enlightened Heart Services, where we offer counseling services as well as speaking engagements, as well as coaching. And there's something else I want to say, Lakeisha, and I can't think of it. Okay. So definitely speaking, coaching, and counseling. And there's something else, but it's not coming to my mind. So we'll talk about that. And I am not claiming senioritis. How about that? That's right. So today I have a special guest with me. Her name is Lakeisha LeGrand. And you're going to be hearing more about her. I wanted to also bring up today is the last day for Black History Month. However, Black history is American history, okay? So every day is Black history. How about that? Because as long as we living in America, and if we think about all the richness, the DNA that's running through us based on what our ancestors have done in America, hmm, we know that Black history is definitely American history. And hopefully you practice today staying away from stores, particularly big retail stores, those who are rolling back their programs and taking for granted that we're just going to continue to buy. And maybe they don't care if we're not buying in their stores. But one thing we do know, money talks. Yes, money talks. And so hopefully you've been able to not go to these large retail stores. You're not doing any grocery shopping. You're not doing any clothes shopping in these retail stores. You are definitely supporting these small businesses. If and we just ask that you do that. How about that? Just supporting small businesses because your money does make a difference. I have a quote that I wanted to share, and it is by James Baldwin. I had the opportunity, Lakeisha, to go to the Wright Museum, the African American Museum, and Sabrina Nelson is her name, and she did the artwork. A young woman, and she has a traveling James Baldwin exhibit.
Okay.
It was so great. And one of the things that I liked about it is that you have this AR cam this technology, and it
Oh,
was called AR cam. And what you would do is hold your phone up to the picture, and then it would spin off into one of his speeches or a conversation that he was having with someone. It was absolutely wonderful. Today is the last day and it closes at 5, unfortunately. Hopefully it'll come back, but there are other things that are going on at the African American Museum, and I just want to encourage you to take advantage of learning about your history. It's important that we know as much as we can about us, because you have greatness running through your veins. I just want you to know that. And I don't care if you're red, white, green, yellow, black, you have greatness running through your veins. And so I love this quote by James Baldwin. And the quote says, people who shut their eyes to reality simply invite their own destruction. And anyone who insists on remaining in a state of innocence long after the innocence is dead turns himself into a monster.
wow.
That was powerful. Isn't that
Wow.
something?
Yes.
Yes, that's James Baldwin, Notes of a Native Son. I thought that was so powerful. And when we think about the time that we are in right now,
Yes.
a lot of people walking around saying, and it doesn't matter whether you are for Trump or not for Trump. The bottom line was a lot of people walked around saying, "Oh, he doesn't mean that. Oh, he doesn't mean that. Trump just talked. Oh, he doesn't mean that." I think that now we at a point of, yeah, you shut your eyes to reality. That's what happened.
Mm.
And that's something that we can even call denial, right?
Mm.
As a counselor, we shut our eyes to the realities of what's going on, and we go into denial. And maybe the pain is just too great to deal with.
Wow.
It's just too great to deal with. So you would rather deny what's in front of your face than to deal with what's happening. I say, I call it dealing with the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Okay. And so a lot of times my husband and I will end up talking. I said, nope, I want to deal with the elephant in the room because brother man would be so happy just to not deal with it at all. And
Yes.
and honestly, I find that people really don't want to deal with pain. And I agree. It's difficult dealing with painful situations. It's difficult confronting painful situations. But the truth of the matter is that it still is going to be with you.
Yes.
Any comments to that?
That was so good. You know, you hear a lot of, negativity. You hear a lot of people out of fear, or they're scared, or,
Mm-hmm.
they think now because he's the president that,
Mm-hmm.
things are not looking good.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to know who you are in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know who you are. And even the Bible says you're supposed to pray for those that are in authority. So we're supposed to pray for those.
Yes.
On my show, at the end, we always send love and light to the
Okay.
White House. Okay. Because if
Okay.
enough people send love and light to this situation, maybe some things will change. It may not be as bad as you think that it would be.
Well, I love the way you're saying that, Lakeisha, because love and light sending it out in the universe, because it is based on our perspective, right?
Yes,
How we interpret what's happening to us is
absolutely.
really important, right? And it's
Yes,
important. So there's two things. One, how we interpret it, but we
yes.
don't go into denial of it,
That's
you know.
true.
And I think it's easy to cross over into that.
It is because a lot of it is based off of your belief system. Like I believe it don't matter who in president. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That it's not gonna affect me. Like everything always works out for Lakeisha LeGrand if you let B tell it. I don't care
Okay.
who
All
it
right. I
is.
love that.
Okay, because you gotta know
Hmm.
who you are as a person, who you are in Christ. What do you believe? Like I believe everything is in divine order. It may not look like it, despite the situation. I truly believe that everything is in divine order. Everything happened for a reason. We might not understand why
Yes.
he made it to president. We may not understand, might not never understand. But I truly believe and can't afford to believe nothing else that everything is in divine order and
Yes.
all is well.
So I like the way you're saying that because it's important for us to know. And that's why I said what's running through our veins, right? The
Yes,
DNA that's running through our veins. When Jim Crow was around, when slavery was around, we
yes,
hear about those who triumph.
yes.
Like James Baldwin, he moved to Paris.
Okay,
Okay. That's great and beautiful. I do want to go to, if you're a Christian.
absolutely.
Okay, so that's the little Christian right here.
Come on, let's
Yeah,
talk. Let's
and
talk.
so
Real talk. Come
in the Bible, they were scattered.
on now.
You deal with that. It's just okay. And I'm for sure when we read about it in the scattering, it was painful, but they
Yes.
scattered. Matter of fact, they went to the east, the west, the north, and the south. They were scattered all over. The and killed. Let's
Mm,
just deal with that as well. That's in New Testament. That was after Christ death. And they were killed and they were scattered, but they still were required to hold on to their faith, to know that greater was God that was in them than he that was in the world.
mm.
And they knew that with that them being scattered, also they knew that it was going to work for their good.
Come on.
Now, and so sometimes when we say things like that, I want to be real clear. When we say that it's going to work for our good, we're talking about the rosiness coming out. I just want to be clear about that. As a counselor, I hear it all the time because we don't think we ought to be going through any pain. That's
Mm,
just it.
mhm.
In this life, we're going to go through pain. In this life,
Yes, we are going to go through things, but you know what helps you make it through is having the right attitude,
you do.
having the correct perspective. Having the right attitude, really is what's going to help you make it through.
Yes. The right attitude, correct. And having an anchor.
Okay.
You have to be anchored in something. If you're not anchored in Christianity, that's fine. That's where we're anchored. But get anchored in something because the storms of life are coming. That's just it. They're coming. And how you deal with them really depends on one, like you said, your attitude, but your anchor.
Mm.
Because I know for sure when I was going through my healing process, I know for sure that it was my anchor. Because my
Mm.
attitude was, Lord, I want out of this. But
Mm.
the anchor of trusting that He was going to get me through it. And I heard myself say, though you slay me, yet would I follow you. Because I literally felt like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to come out of this alive. I literally felt that way, but I did.
That is just, so good. I got so many things I kind of like want to say
Well
on this particular
said.
topic.
Yeah,
So one thing about it is everything in life must change.
that's right.
Don't nothing stay the same.
All right.
Okay? Good don't stay good always.
Come on.
And guess what? And bad don't stay bad always.
That's
So if
right.
you feel like you've been having some bad luck, just know that good luck is around the corner. You can't have bad luck for the rest of
Oh,
your life.
yeah. Come on
It
now.
just doesn't work like that. Everything must change. And life is designed for you to win. There's
Yes,
always a way out. You never stuck in
that's
nothing.
right.
It's about you figuring out what it is. Everything you need is
Yes,
right there at you. You just got to
yes.
figure it out. You
Hmm.
just got to figure it out.
Yes. I love that. I mean, that's really true.
Oh, yes.
You are. So what I tell my clients oftentimes, it's going to require some skin in the game.
Come on now.
It's going to require a commitment. It's going to require you getting involved in your life and not thinking that someone is going to come by and rescue you. Nope. There is no white and shiny armor. For real, for real. And Christ is, but that human, nah, they may not rescue you. Mm-mm. No, they may even turn their back on you. Yep, that may even happen. So I do want you to know, though, you have to have a commitment to whatever you're going through because it is your experience and it is your story. You want to say something?
Yes. So when you say anchor, you were saying you got to have an anchor. So when you
Yes.
say anchor, I think about having a goal. What is your goal? What is your purpose? Like you have to have
Yes.
a goal. And so on top of having a goal, success is in the routine. Okay? Success is in the routine.
Yes.
What does your routine look like? Is your routine raggedy or is your routine conducive to the goals that you wanted to accomplish? You
That's
got to
true.
have a successful routine and be consistent.
And be consistent. That's true. However, that's a good way of looking at anchor. But my anchor, it was commitment, but it was
Okay.
to Christ. It
Okay.
was it was me making sure that I was anchored in because what I was going through, I had never gone through before. So
Okay.
my goal was to get out of what I was in.
Okay.
However, I had to be on his timing and not my timing. So yeah, so that is one good way of looking at an anchor because you do have goals, but still goals can fall apart. You
They
know,
can.
they can.
They can.
And so it
But
has to
it's
be
in the
bigger than you.
it has to be bigger
It
than
has
you.
to be bigger than you.
Everything I am doing is bigger than me.
That's wonderful.
And God, the only way it's going to happen is through God. Okay?
That's it.
God is leading this. It's so much, it's just so much bigger than me. And you have to have, because
Hmm.
we're evolving beings. Like, that's what we do. We evolve,
Yes,
we change.
we do.
Life is designed for you to win. Like, you,
Yes,
what is life if you don't have no goal, no purpose? Like,
that's right. You know something? I was at the school today where I'm going to be doing some programming, and
nice.
right on the wall it said, "Let your purpose be bigger than you. I
Okay.
thought that I mean I walked with that. And matter of fact, I walked bad
Yes.
3 or 4 times, going to different
Yes.
classrooms and stuff. And
Yes.
I absolutely love that. So we have already got into Lakeisha LeGrand, and she is known as Madam Finance. I want to
Yes.
read some of her bio to you. And I met Lakeisha through a program that we both participate in, which is called Sisters, My Sister's Keeper. And we both go to this shelter and we do work. We provide presentations and support, and we're advocates for women who are recovering from substance abuse and who are healing. And that's how we met. And I said that I invited some of the women to come on my podcast. And Lakeisha, you responded and she's here. So I appreciate you being here. So Lakeisha LeGrand, widely known as Madam Finance, is a financial literacy educator, business mentor, and former banker with over 30 years of experience. And you look so
Well,
young.
thank you so very much. What they say, black don't
I'm
crack.
telling you, in the financial industry, she began her career in banking and mortgages, working with top institutions like JP Morgan Chase, where she earned her Series 6 and 63 licenses and developed a deep understanding of wealth building, investing, and financial planning. As a passionate educator, she teaches everyday people and entrepreneurs how to take control of their finances through smart investing, brokerage accounts, dividend stocks, and wealth building strategies. She also co hosts Grand Rising Elizabeth's Wealth Building Wednesday, a platform where she inspires and educates her audience by sharing success stories of millionaires and billionaires. Please welcome Lakeisha LeGrand.
Thank you, thank you. It's such a pleasure
Yes.
to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you're here, and you have the energy and the spirit of such goodness and grace. And so it's just so great to have you here, Lakeisha.
Thank
So,
you.
as Madam Finance, tell me a little about yourself and your journey in business and finance.
Okay, well, I was born and raised here in the, city of Detroit.
Okay.
I was one of those young girls who was very intuitive, very smart, had a lot of ambition,
Okay.
but we grew up on, welfare. I grew up on welfare. I always had this dream of owning my own business.
Okay.
And I don't know where that came from because no one in my household talked about business. No one talked about business. I didn't have
All
any
right.
girlfriends, no friends who ever thought about having their own business or starting their own business. And
Okay.
so that dream of mine just was deep bedded inside. And so I had my first opportunity of having my first business when I reached the age of 26. My ex-husband and I, we had this restaurant, and boy, I tell you, I felt my dreams was here. My dreams was had came true. Unfortunately, through that dream, we ended up getting a divorce, and I had to start over from scratch. And so,
Okay.
yeah, and so I was too young to be able to understand and and handle those type of things. You young, you vibrant, you have children, you think you're gonna be in love for life. And so
Yes.
sometimes that can take a turn on you. And so I had to learn how to redevelop myself spiritually, how to regain myself. But thank God through, my schooling, my education, I was able to, make it through and turn my life around.
I know that's right.
Yes, I was able to turn it around. And so that's the thing that I want to do. There are so many other young girls that were smart and, that need a mentorship. That's all I needed was some mentorship. And so that's why I'm so passionate about it to make sure that those young girls can have the mentorship they need to be able to succeed.
So what inspired? Because I so when I let me make sure I'm just capturing your story. So growing up, you were on welfare, and you don't even know where it came from. This, I want to start. I want to have my own business, but you dreamt of having that business,
Yes.
right? And so you and your husband at the time, you and him started a restaurant. Yeah, and
Yes.
how long was that restaurant open
That
for?
restaurant lasted for 5 years, and
Okay,
I mean, it was such. I was in my element, like just hearing all the positive things. You know, I had an accountant, and I wanted to make sure I was doing everything right. And he was like,
okay,
"Oh, girl, you own it, you own
come
it." And
on
so I was
now.
like, "Okay, okay." So I was excited.
Yes,
Just had another child. Like you just couldn't tell me anything. We both was, in our element, but unfortunately that ended, we ended up being a divorce, but I was able to
the
turn.
restaurant closed at that time.
Not immediately.
Okay,
I
okay.
walked away.
You walked away.
I walked
Okay.
away. I didn't really know how to handle,
Divorce, children.
infidelity, different things
Okay,
like that,
yes,
so that
yes.
was like a lot,
That is a lot.
that was a lot. And I
Yes.
was a young lady. And so, and I just feel like I deserve better. You know what I
Good for
mean? I felt
you.
like I deserve better. And just, listening to, other women of faith, I
Yes.
stayed in it longer than what I probably would have, but I changed my life around.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up going back to college. I received my master's degree in business.
Okay.
Eventually, I purchased a home. I paid it off in 7 years.
All right
My goal was to pay it off in 5, but
now.
okay,
Okay.
I take 7. I was a little disappointed, but I take 7. And I've just been able to, turn my life around. Yes.
That is wonderful. Well, that is a very powerful story. And without a doubt, it can empower others. And you can even hear your passion of why you stand on the things that you say. These are your principal stance.
Yes.
Set a goal, be consistent,
Yes.
and let your dreams be bigger than you. Is that what I understood?
Absolutely, because what I needed, I couldn't even find it in school. Like I couldn't find it in
Hmm.
high school. I couldn't
Hmm.
find the mentorship. I couldn't find. You have teachers that want to teach you business, but they didn't even have their own business. You know what I mean? Like they're
Hmm.
teaching you things that they haven't even experienced themselves.
Yes.
And so mentorship is just so key, and it's so much bigger than me, because there are other young girls who are so ambitious. They want to have their own business. They want to know about finances. They want to know where to put their money once they make the money. And so I just want to pull my hand back and bring them forward so it doesn't take them as long as it took me to get my financial life in order.
That is really wonderful because you're right. Mentorship is key. And a lot of us, particularly I can't speak for anyone else, but as an African American woman, sometimes I really didn't understand what was mentoring to me as well. So
Mm,
even though I would say to myself, oh, I need a mentor, oh, I need a mentor, sometimes books can be your mentors. I just want to be clear about that one.
absolutely. That's good.
Uh-huh, books can be your mentor.
Yes.
Going on and crafting your talent or what it is that you believe that you're called to do, making sure that you are learning about that craft. The fact that you have how many, 63 licenses?
No, I don't have 63 licenses. When I'm an ex-banker, and I
Okay.
work for JP Morgan Chase, which is
Okay.
the biggest bank in the world.
Hmm.
They had some amazing top-notch training, right? And there I was able to receive my Series 6 and 63 license, so
Okay.
I can
Series 6 and 63 licenses.
yes, so
Okay.
I can help with, deal with investments and
Okay.
helping
Very
people,
good.
yeah, with
Okay.
their investments and things like that. Yes.
So how did Madam Finance come about? Because you jumped from a restaurant to this, working for a huge corporation.
Yes. So, what really put a fire up under my belt is having the opportunity to talk to hundreds of millionaires, people who have money in their bank.
Okay.
And so one of this, like, she was so jazzy. Ooh, she was jazzy. She was sharp.
Okay.
And
All
at that
right.
time, we were young. I was young, and we was talking about I need a sponsor. I need a sponsor. We looking for a sugar daddy. What?
Exactly.
And so this older lady, she was like, her dividends, was her sponsor. Her dividends paid her rent. Her
Okay.
dividends paid her mortgage. That was her sponsor. So she was getting, I know it was more than 10,000, but I'm just gonna say for easy math that she was getting $10,000 every quarter from her dividends. She had been
Yes.
investing for a very long
Mm-hmm.
time, and her dividends is what paid all of her bills. Every quarter she was getting $10,000 based off of
Wow.
her.
Her
It was more
investments.
off her investments,
Okay.
and I was like, wow, and that wasn't even including her pension. Okay, so I was like, wow, we was not taught that,
No.
and
Yeah.
so then another person came in, and I was like, wow, this is different. This is different, and so I immediately started tapping in and learning as much as I can, which was easy because I was in the bank. And then I was able
Mm-hmm.
to ask questions, work with financial planners, talk about these, where should they put their money. And so
Okay.
I just became very excited about it. And I started opening up, at this time it was share builders. I started investing in share builders where, you can do partial shares. You don't have to put a whole share. You could just start, getting stock and
And that,
with very
okay.
little money and
With
just
very
keep
little
just
money.
being consistent. And so I was excited about that. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is
Yes.
really awesome. And
Yes.
so you majored in business,
Yes.
and then from there, you had a fire for it. So you start working at J.P. Morgan.
That's
Yeah.
where I really got my fire. Like,
Okay. Okay.
seeing how true it was, and then like, wow, just realize how we're not taught any of this. Everything I learned at JP Morgan Chase, I did not hear that anywhere in our community. Even the older people, I didn't hear that. And
Okay.
so just that just really helped me to really want to help others. And then I started going into, life insurance, and everything I do is helping the community. Because a lot of people don't realize I learned, um, you know, other ethnic groups do things different than we do,
Mm-hmm.
especially when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to life insurance. Most people don't know that life insurance is a part of your financial portfolio. That threw me away because we only look at it as burial, just to take care, just to bury someone. They use it totally different to have access to cash, and they know about those $1 million policies. They know about when the kids are born to get immediate life insurance on those, on your children
Mm-hmm.
and your grandchildren. Yeah, they know
Mm-hmm.
about all of those
Yeah,
things.
you are so right. And you're right. We have looked at it as burial. My girlfriend, who's passed on, actually,
Okay, sorry to hear that.
she she would say, like, she took out policies on different family members. She did,
Yeah.
because her thing was that she foresaw that her parents would pass before her. That did not happen. But the truth of the matter is, she did stuff like that to say
Yes.
these are the ways we got to think about it. And then I talked to um, a gentleman like yourself. He was more into the health insurance and life insurance, and he said to me, he said, Regina, God forbid that you ever lose a child, God forbid. But what you don't
Mm,
want to do is go immediately back to work. You want to be
mm,
able to grieve your child. and
yes.
and I just, he said, I have policies out on my children, not because I'm looking for anything to happen to them, but God forbid that if something does, I'll be able to sit back and deal with myself rather than trying to deal with work. And that's what happens. We try to deal with work, we try to deal with grandkids, we try to deal with husbands, we
Yes.
try to deal with our wives. I mean, life doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't. Speaking on life insurance, life insurance is an additional vehicle on how to build wealth. I don't know, most people have heard of the Vanderbilt family.
Yes,
And
that's
so,
how they built it.
come on, that's how
That is
that,
exactly how they built
yes,
it.
yes.
That's right.
And still today, because
Hmm.
they use life insurance and put it in a trust, that they're still taking care of over around 200 people of their family members today,
Wow.
still today, due to life insurance, having a plan. Yes, putting it into a trust. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, because the truth of the matter is we are leaving here one day,
We are
you
leaving
know.
here one
And
day.
as my husband says, I know I'm leaving, I'm just not ready. I believe God has more to do. Okay. God has a little bit more to do. But I know I'm
Yes.
leaving one day.
Yes,
That's right.
you are,
That's right.
and some people they may say, "Girl, you really tripping," because like I have two boys,
Okay.
and neither one of my boys have children right now. Okay, but they do plan on having children. Girl, I done opened up a brokerage account for my grandkids, so I opened up a joint account with both sons,
Okay.
right? And so now I can start. I'm already investing for them. They ain't even born yet, but they already investing because I
Yes.
don't know how long I'm gonna be to live. I want to have an impact. They know that their grandmother
All right
was
now.
thinking about them. And yes, honey, I feel good. I feel good.
Well, tell us more about the brokerage
Investing,
account because we
investing
have
for my on
people have
behalf of my grandchildren.
I have a grandchild.
Okay.
Okay. And so tell us about investing for your grandchild and what tell us more about brokerage. What does that mean?
Okay, brokerage accounts is a place where you are able to do investments. It's different than you having a bank account, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a bank account, you don't have X amount of money in your bank account that they may charge you fees. A brokerage account is nothing like that. A brokerage account is $0 to start. Like, did y'all hear that? Zero
$0
dollars
to
to
start.
start.
All right.
Now, when it comes to your grandchildren, um, I love Charles Schwab. Is one of my favorites. Is Charles
Mm-hmm.
Schwab. They have something called a custodial account, and those are for minors. And you
Mm-hmm.
open up account on behalf of your grandson, and then when you open it up, you're going to be the primary beneficiary, the owner of it. And when they reach the age 18, then they'll be able to take over. But the good thing about it is we have to change the way we are spending our money. So
Yes.
maybe when Christmas come, if you thought about spending $400, we get carried away when Christmas come. We buy these kids all kind of toys and
Okay.
everything. If you planned on spending $400 on your child for Christmas, maybe don't spend 400. Maybe just spend 200 and take that other 200 and then put it in and purchase
Yes.
some dividend stocks or some REITs or some ETFs, for your grandchild. When their birthday come, instead of maybe giving them $100 or $50, maybe
Mm-hmm.
give them 25 and put that other 25 into a brokerage account.
Yeah. That's just really being smart about your money. And you can't say, well, I don't have any money,
Come on.
right? Because it's just what you said. Uh, Bad days don't last always,
That's
right?
right.
And if our bad days are lasting always, then we have to begin to ask ourselves, what are we believing in?
What are we believing in and what are we doing?
And what are we doing?
Because every time you spend your money, you're making somebody else wealthy.
Well, see,
You
that's just it.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's just it.
that's just
All these
it.
cars, okay?
All these.
Hands over fists, okay? All these designer clothes, designer
Come
purses.
on.
You know something? That just gets on my nerves. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And I'm not gonna say I don't like designer purses. But I can honestly tell you I don't have many. Okay. One of the things that I did for my daughter that used to kind of get under her skin, but now
Hmm.
she loves it,
Okay.
was that I would tell her, I'm not buying you all that designer stuff. I'm not trying to impress the Joneses. I am not trying to impress the Joneses, okay?
Okay.
However, I want you to have some experiences that I didn't have. And one of the experiences that I had limited exposure to was traveling.
Okay.
Okay. And so at 10 years old, my daughter went to Australia with a group of people. People were saying to me, 10? You letting her go to Australia at 10? Um, I mean, how do you really feel about that? I feel connected to God.
Okay.
She going to Australia. I trust the group. It was the ambassadors, student ambassadors. So
Nice.
yes, and it was wonderful. And then she went to Brown. University for a summer program.
Okay.
She was up at Michigan State for one of their summer programs. Whatever I can get her into, and to this day, this girl is still doing some traveling. As a matter of fact, my little grandbaby has gone to a different country and six other states already.
That is so amazing because you want to show them something different. They
Different.
say you become a product of your environment. Like, let them see the world. Like, once my child got 12, on his 12th birthday, I
Okay.
love traveling. I've been on so many cruises. They wanted to go. So I said, on his 12th birthday, I'm going to take my family on a cruise. And
Yes.
I did. And they loved it. Like,
Yes.
they loved it. It was just an experience. And so you want them to see something
Yes.
different.
And it wasn't in clothes for me. It wasn't. It
Okay.
wasn't. It wasn't in the purses either. It wasn't in making sure that she had these. Even though she'll get her some, what is it called, Jewish shoes, whatever these shoes called. I don't even know the name of them, but
Right,
anyway, girlfriend know the name of them.
right,
Okay,
right.
she'll go and get some of those. That wasn't where I was for her. I was not. I wanted her to have a different experience than me. And you know something my father told me, which is really true.
Okay.
My father told me if I had just listened, and this to all of us, if I had just listened to this, Regina, I started working. I was 13. He said, Regina, I want you every single check for the rest of your life to put $10 away and don't touch it. When he
Mm,
said that, that seemed like too much at 13. What do you mean? What, dad? No. But I had to do it when I was in his house. When I got older, I was like, now I'm getting my money. I'm gonna spend my money. As I got older, I began to see the value because the 401ks where I started working, the starting getting
yes.
some understanding. And even
Yes.
as a businesswoman, I save money. I,
Okay.
I get it now. I
Yes.
really do because you need to have money coming in.
Come on.
You just really do need to have money coming in. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Hustling. My dad was a good hustler.
Okay.
Okay, he just was. And he wasn't out there breaking the laws and all that. He knew how to get on people's roofs. He knew how to paint. He knew how to put the I forget
Yes.
all this stuff
He
that
was
you
a
do.
jack of all
Yes, he
trades.
was. I
Okay.
mean, he really was. He used to go around selling watermelon when I was growing up. And so when you talk about that entrepreneur spirit, it was
Yes.
right in my home.
Yes. You sure your father was named Ray? Because my cousin, I'm getting ready to go pick him up, and it sounds just like him. He knows everybody.
What's his last name?
Stokes.
Nope.
Yes, but
Okay.
his real name is Emmanuel. But yes,
Okay.
the watermelons, going on the roof. He knew how to do everything.
I
Everybody
mean,
come
really.
and
Yeah,
does
this is it.
everything. Very intelligent. Always have money.
Yes.
That's just having a good trade. But I want to talk about true wealth. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
um, I have started a group with my family called the Wealth Circle Mastermind for my family. So I'm
Okay.
helping other people gain wealth, but I wasn't helping my own family. And so they're at the age right now, they need to be taught this information. And true wealth only comes through business, okay? Ain't no getting around it. Wealth comes through business. It's either you're going to take a risk, have faith, and open your own business, or you going to what you should do if you're not going to open up your own business, trust yourself in your business, then be part owner of somebody else's business. Okay,
Hmm.
that's what we have to do. Business is what keeps America going.
That's the
Not
truth.
business keeps America running, not a job. Not
That's
a
right.
job. It's not. And so when you're spending your money and you making other people wealthy and you're making the other shareholders wealthy, why not you be a shareholder? Okay, because every time somebody, let's say, go into Walmart and they own Walmart stock like I do, okay, every time somebody
Hmm.
go in there, you making the shareholders wealthy. Why not me?
That's
Also
right.
be wealthy. I'm a share. They're
Yes.
making me wealthy. Every time you go, you have AT&T. You're spending. Okay, not only you making them wealthy, but you also making the shareholders wealthy. You making me wealthy. So
I
we have
totally
to
agree. Yes.
change the
Our
way
way
we
we
think
think.
about
That's
things.
right.
You can't spend and make them wealthy, and you're not making yourself wealthy. Because what is stock? Stock is ownership. Simple as that. You are a owner. And
That's
so
it.
that's where
I
it's at.
love that, Lakeisha. That's
Ownership.
so true. Well, tell me, because when you talk about bringing other people along, you said the everyday person, the average person. Is that what you're providing for them? The having them to have a mind shift?
Yes, because it's so many people, even my age, I'm 57. There's people 67 don't even know what to do, don't even know where to begin. So I break things down in baby steps. Baby steps. The Bible says, despise not small beginnings.
I know
We
that's
have to
right.
start
Yes.
somewhere. People
Hmm.
don't know you open up a brokerage account, it's free. It doesn't cost any money to do that. Then they just it's simple. You ask for your they asking for your social security number, your ID, different things. The same thing they ask for if you open up a bank. Then you just connect your checking account to it. You connect your checking account to it, and that's how you able to fund your brokerage account. And when you put your money in the brokerage account, it's like you sitting in a money market account until you decide on what it is that you want to invest in. It's
Yes.
not hard. Like even Charles Schwab and Fidelity, those are my favorite. There are
Hmm.
many more. You can get shares for a little bit of nothing. Like just say for instance, if the stock is $100, you could be an owner of a company just with $5 with Charles Schwab. $5, and you can be part owner
Hmm.
of
I was going to say
Walmart.
that. So if you have a little money, don't despise your little
Don't
money. That's what
despise
I'm
you.
hearing you
That's
say,
what I'm
right?
saying.
Don't despise your little
Start
money.
somewhere.
Start somewhere.
Start
Put your
somewhere.
$5. My daddy said 10, but you might only have five.
You only have five. But
Yes.
one day you might have 100. One day
Yes.
somebody might want to bless you for your birthday. Be like, ooh, okay. And then you
Yes.
build. It's just
Hmm.
about being consistent. Being consistent.
I love
Long
that.
term. This is not no quick get rich scheme or anything like that. You building wealth, it takes time. It's not something overnight. And sometimes, like I'm teaching my boys at 27 and 29. This is long term. You're going to be doing this for 20 years. If you do what I'm telling you to do for 20 years,
Okay.
baby, you could be a millionaire.
Well, I think I would have been twice million.
Okay,
Okay. If I
you
just would have followed my dad's rule,
just
right?
would have
At
followed
13 years old.
at 13
At
years
13
old,
years old, because that's
baby.
when he said it.
Passive income, having
Yes.
dividend stocks, doing REITs, which is real estate investment trust, just putting your vehicle. Every million, I love studying millionaires and billionaires because they leave clues.
All right.
Every millionaire and billionaire, they have their own business or they are part owner of somebody else's business.
Yes. Well,
Every politician, well, I ain't gonna say every politician, but most politicians. You think Elon Musk is not investing? You think Trump is not investing? You think they are investing? They know what to do with their money. And some people might say that's a long time, 20 years. Okay, but guess what? 20 years is coming whether you like it or not.
it's coming.
It's coming. So
It
in the
is
20
coming.
years, are you gonna be in the same situation you're in now? Or in
Yes.
20 years, are you gonna be a wealth builder?
Yeah. That's really
And
true. It's coming, right?
it's coming.
Because I know I'm older than you, okay? And you didn't see 50, you said 58, what did you say, 57?
I'm 57,
So you didn't see 57 coming, but it's here.
but it's
It's
here.
here. As a matter of fact, when I was younger, I would say, "Ooh, that's old." And now what we say, "Oh, that's young." Oh, really? Did something happen to
Yes,
them? They so
yes,
young. And so it's
yes.
coming.
It's coming, whether you
That's
like
it,
it or
whether you
not.
like it or not.
When I was younger,
Hmm.
people, it was taught that, after you get ready from high school, you go to college. Some people, oh, that's going to take a long time. That's 5 years. But guess what? 5 years is coming whether you like it or
Whether you
not.
like it or
So in
not.
5 years, are you going to be the made a difference in your life? Or 5 years, are you just going to be at the same place where you at? Now, what
Yeah.
are we doing?
Yeah. What are we doing? I love it. Well, tell me about your podcast. You co-host it, right? So tell us a little bit about your podcast. Comes on every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday
Every
from one
Wednesday.
hour from 9 to 10, the Grand Rising Elizabeth Wealth Building Wednesday, and we talk about some of everything, a lot pertaining to business, marketing, artificial intelligence, the importance of it. It's here. It's not going
It's not
away.
going anywhere.
And I also use it as a platform for other entrepreneurs, that's out
Hmm.
here, working to build wealth, for him to have an opportunity to be able to share what they're doing, to share so that we can support one another. So it's very important that we spend amongst each other, okay?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
your grandchild, your niece, your nephew, they need to see and hear more success stories of their own kind. It's very vital, very important, very life
Yes.
changing for our communities to have more success stories, and that let them know that it's possible.
It is possible.
Okay.
Well, there's two questions I have for you. So I
Yes.
really appreciate you saying you guys talk about a lot of things, but it's
Lifestyle.
focused on about lifestyle, AI, all these things that are going on, which we need to tap into.
Yes.
Yes, and I love the encouragement that you give so much, Lakeisha. I'm wondering. You mentioned Elon Musk. All the things that are going on right now in our country dealing with Elon Musk. One of the things that I loved about what I read
Mm-hmm.
is about the federal contracts he get. See, they want to. You talked about earlier about being on welfare, right?
Yes.
And one of the things Dr. Martin Luther King talked about is that they will white people will have get these federal contracts, will be taught. When you talk about JP Morgan Chase, the teaching would teach, will become great farmers, will get land through a federal contract, will have all these things, but they will lock us out.
Come on.
And since he been doing this Doge or doggy, whatever you want to call it, he has gained several $billion off of federal contracts. Okay,
Wow.
and Rich, it really is a conflict of interest. But getting beyond that, the bottom line is he's getting federal contracts.
Come on. It's all for the wealth. It's
It's
all
all
for
for the well.
wealthy
That's it.
people. Getting rid of the taxes. Having to pay taxes.
That's
You
right.
know why? Because see, this is a secret most people don't know. So when you get a refund check, and you talk to people and they get a refund check,
Hmm.
people who get refund checks, that mean they ain't made no money. You
Hmm.
don't know no millionaires and billionaires that get refund checks. They don't get refund checks. They have to pay taxes. That's why they're always trying to find some kind of way to support maybe some type of nonprofit organization or support, something that they're trying to find tax loopholes so they
Hmm.
can get write-offs. So if
Hmm.
they don't have to pay taxes, okay, now what? It's for the rich. That's all it's for. It's for the wealthy people not to have to pay taxes because they
So
have
I
to
like
pay
what
taxes.
someone said. They said, well, Elon Musk is on welfare, federal welfare, because every time you turn around, he got a contract that his business is getting, and it's from the federal government. But yet we laying off all these people
Come
in
on.
federal government. So I'm just saying, people figure out ways to make money, is what I'm hearing you say.
It is. And you can too.
That's
Don't get
right.
discouraged. You have hands on money. It's about being wise, making one smart decision at a time. Start investing your money. Do what the wealth do. Invest. True wealth again only comes through business. Either you are going to own your own business or you're going to be part owner of somebody else's business. And you can do it. There's no excuses on why you don't have $5. We do what we want to do. I don't Everybody do what they want to do.
That's right.
Whatever it is that's important to them, they find a way to do whatever it
That's
is
right.
that you want to do.
That's
Whether it's
right.
that Gucci purse you say or any of these other anything that you want, you find a way for. You want to go on a cruise or a trip, you can do anything. It's all about
Hmm.
planning. That's all it's about. It's
It's the
planning.
planning. Yes, I
Have a
love
plan
that.
for it. You can do anything. Life was designed for you to win. It's just a matter of planning.
So, is that one of the principles? Because I was going to ask you one of the principles that you go by, and I heard you twice say, well, several times, being consistent, and now I'm hearing you say planning. You've said that as well. So,
Yes.
those are some of the principles that you would encourage the audience to latch onto.
Absolutely. And be more conscious about how you're spending your money. Like what So every time you spending money, you making someone else wealthy. You making another family wealthy. These chairs that we sitting in belongs to a family. When you go buying chicken, that chicken belongs to a family. It's a business, somebody's business. You're making them wealthy. It's okay to make other people wealthy, but you need to spend money to make sure you are building wealth for yourself. Just like the example I gave earlier about AT&T. Okay, you paying your AT&T bill. That means you making other shareholders, investors,
That's right.
wealthy. So why not you be a shareholder as well? And you also being wealthy. So we have to make sure that we're conscious about where are we spending our money. What do you own? It's ownership.
I'm going to need to end, but I do want to. Do you have any mastermind classes coming up? Where can they find you on your podcast? And tell us a little bit about you have another business.
Yes, Natural Living by Design, which is a health and wellness company. We have some amazing liquid herbal extracts, supplements, powders, and syrups. And we have our flagship product, which is our whole body natural deodorant mist that's currently in, 20 stores. And so I'm excited about that. You can
Yes,
go to www.naturallivingbydesign and see all the amazing health products that's there specifically for you. Also, I'm excited that I'm working on Legacy Building Academy. And so that I will be teaching a lot about brokerage accounts. There's so many people like, show me how to open up a brokerage account. I want to learn more. I want to do
that's
better.
great.
So I
That's
am,
great. I
I'm
love
working
that.
on
I
that.
was looking at, I think it was CN, yeah, I think it was CNBC,
Okay.
and they were just, I was watching for stock,
Okay.
and they were talking about copper, you know,
Okay.
and I was learning about that. I was like, I want to learn more about what's out there. I'm not knocking stock. I do invest in it. However, what else is out there, because I do believe that with all the things that are going on, that we have to be conscious that it may take a turn and be
Yes.
conscious of investing in some other things.
Yes, so I truly believe in passive income. So I really truly believe in dividend stocks. I really truly believe in ETLs for people who are beginners, who
Hmm.
just starting off. Some ETLs would be a great way to start. And REITs, if you ever wanted to get into commercial buildings and different things like that, it is a great way for you to get involved in reaping the benefits of commercial properties, um, paying rent, and you benefit from it. Yeah.
So tell us again how they can get in contact with you.
Okay. Ask Madam Finance. You can go to Instagram, the Ask Madam Finance, Facebook. You can also, if you want to know more about what it is that I'm doing, you can go to lakeishaLegrand.com or madamfinance.com to find out more information, of what I'm doing. My greatest project, and I'm excited about that I am co-authoring a book with the multi-millionaire Kevin Harrington, who was the original of Shark Tank. So that's coming up in 21 days, and I'm
Okay.
so excited. Co-authoring a book with him
That is
and
awesome.
being
Very
selected.
good. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for
Exhale
having
into
me.
life with Regina.
Yes.
When Regina speaks, everyone listen. This has
Yes.
been brought to you by Enlightened Heart Services, where we provide counseling services, speaking, training, and coaching. That's what it was. It was training.
Yes.
Also, I'm just very excited that we are on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
Hey.
Yes, and I needed to have done that several times. So, Roger, please forgive me. I was so caught up in you, Lakeisha. You have a wonderful spirit and
Thank
energy, and
you.
it's clear that you're passionate about the things that you do. So, thank you
Yes.
so much for coming, and would love to have you again.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
Yes.